everyone, welcome back to the homestead and to another farm to table video. It's actually chilly this morning, so we've got our long sleeve on, but the garden's beautiful. We're really enjoying some new dahlia blooms. Our oldest daughter used her own money to invest in over 20 different dahlia varieties, and she's hoping to eventually be able to sell bouquets. I don't know if she'll get to that this year or not, but in any case, the dahlias are so fun. So many different color varieties. We just kind of had to plug them into our backyard here this year. Hopefully next year we'll have better beds set up for them. That's the plan anyway. So anyway, we're going to do a farm to table meal today, and then I'm also excited to hopefully begin building grow beds for our main crop area. Finally, after years of waiting, we were blessed to be able to get a rebate from Menards, and it allowed us to get enough material to make about 4 large beds. So hopefully we're going to get started on that today as well. I lost my little buddy already. Abby went to watch the milking. She really loves watching her older siblings do the milking in the morning. It's one of her favorite things. So she'd rather do that than be on camera. So for our farm to table meal today, I'm thinking of a lunch meal, and I'm thinking shepherd's pie. However, I don't have an oven that works right now that's large enough for a large shepherd's pie. I do have a sun oven that I use for smaller things, but it's not big enough for a full shepherd's pie. So I think I'll just leave the meat and veggie mix separate from the mashed potatoes, and then everyone can decide if they want to put them together or leave them separate. And then I think we'll do some cottage cheese on the side. We're actually milking 2 cows right now, so we've got a lot of milk coming in. It's been a huge blessing. Been making some just really easy, what I call cottage cheese. It's not technically cottage cheese, but it works like cottage cheese. And then I've been making yogurt, and we've had plenty to drink, so that's been a real blessing. So I'll be using ground beef today that's not actually from our farm. It's from a local farm, and it's grass-fed. It's from the money that we got from selling our last young bull. He was just such an awesome bull, so nice, so friendly, just had a lot of really good qualities about him, so we did not want to butcher him. So instead we sold him, and we're using that money to get local grass-fed beef. That's working out really well. So I like to cook the meat and the veggies separate. I'll probably add onions and garlic, salt and pepper of course to the meat while I'm cooking that. And then the veggies I'm going to use today are purple pole beans, and then we've also got some provider bush beans that we've been harvesting lately, and we've got a lot of squash coming in. The early yellow straight neck squash has done really well for us this year. And then we've got chard. I'll steam all those vegetables together, strain them, and then add them to the meat. After the meat, onions and garlic are all cooked up. We've also got a lot of basil right now in the garden, so I'll probably put in some fresh basil, and that will be it. Pretty simple meal. Not usually our typical lunchtime meal, but when I'm filming it works better to film either a breakfast or a lunchtime meal rather than dinner. I just am a little more tired by dinner time. It's a little harder to film. So the material we decided upon for grow beds is maybe not the best for grow beds. Ideally you want to use something like cedar or white oak that's more rot resistant, but we decided to just go with 2x12 pine and hope for the best with it. That was what was available at Menards and that we could get at a reasonable price. So we'll be able to actually build about 4 or 5 beds versus just 1 or 2 if we had gone with cedar or something more expensive. We are hoping to try and find an Amish mill locally if we can. If we're able to find some white oak that way, that might be how we actually finish off the rest of the main crop. But for now we're starting with a 2x12 pine, and the beds are going to be 12 foot long by 4 foot wide. Just wanted to show you real quick our melon plants. They're going crazy and overtaking our walkway here. You have to step over plants as you walk through here, but they're so beautiful. This is a new marigold this year. So ideally next year those melons are going to go in the main crop area, not in our smaller kitchen garden, and that'll give them more room to sprawl out and do their thing. Our main crop area is about a 56 by 42 foot space. It's not huge, but it's going to give us a lot of extra room for things like potatoes, sweet potatoes, more onions, winter squash, melon. So the main crop's gonna allow us a lot more room for those staples, the things that we really want to stock up on for the winter time. Our kitchen garden, we're able to grow quite a bit of annual food, but it's not a huge space. The focus with our kitchen garden has been more so on fruit and perennials, herbs, things like that that we knew we needed to get established right away. And it's been just a kind of like a classroom for us on growing all of the annual crops as well. We've experimented with so many different varieties of plants and foods in this space. And so I'm excited to be able to take everything that I've learned here in my little kitchen garden and apply it to our bigger main crop area. Maybe even starting this fall, we'll see.
Everything in the bowl.
Yeah. You get it? Can be kind of hard to get off of there, huh? Do you want some help?
Yeah.
Okay, now try and pull it off. Ooh, nice one, huh?
And also it's nice and big.
Nice and big. Mm-hmm.
Right here is garlic.
Yeah, do you like garlic?
Yeah, garlic's my favorite.
Garlic's your favorite?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't know that.
And also pizza and ice cream.
Oh, pizza and ice cream. Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, and also
What else?
sour cream.
Sour cream?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good too, huh?
And also chocolate sauce. Mom, didn't you know I got these nails?
Getting the dirt off of them first?
Yeah.
All right. Abby's my littlest helper, huh? Do you like helping to make food?
Yeah. Oh, down.
That one's still dirty?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Rub the dirt off, huh? You got it?
I can do all the potatoes.
You gonna do them all? Okay, I'll leave you to it. I'm gonna go get some basil while you do that, okay?
What are these, Mama? Potatoes.
We probably need about 10 to 12 of them. Do you think you can count that high? Maybe Biddle can help you. Girls, ready to make this into a yummy farm-to-table lunch?
Yes. Yes.
All right, so I've got the potatoes boiling and the meat is cooking. I decided not to put the onions and garlic in with the meat because it's still pretty frozen. So instead I just added salt, pepper, and some onion and garlic granules to the meat for now. And I also have the vegetables going. I'm gonna save out the chopped basil and the chard greens and put those in at the end because those cook up really fast. So now I've got all the other vegetables cooking. I like to cut up the garlic into slices, and then the onion I leave in pretty big bites because I have a little one that doesn't like onion, so that way she can pick out the onion pretty easily. So once all those veggies are almost tender, then I'll add the greens and I'll strain them and add that to the cooked meat mixture. And then to make sort of like a sauce, I just put a couple tablespoons of arrowroot in a couple cups of water and mix it up really well. And once the meat's browned, I'll add the water and arrowroot mix into it. If I had broth, I would use broth instead of water, and that would make it even more flavorful, but I think the meat's going to be flavorful enough, especially once we put all those vegetables in as well. So I'm just about ready to finish this all off and take it inside. It's my outside kitchen here. Got a propane stove. It's just too hot in an off-grid house with no air conditioner in the summer, so I cook out here in the summertime on this propane stove, and also have a sun oven that I can use for small things. We don't have a hot water system right now. We had to unhook that because it wasn't working, so I've got pots out here for heating water. It's also where I've been drying our garlic and our onions. The flies really like the garlic for some reason, so I keep a little cheesecloth over that to keep the flies off. They don't seem to bother the onions too much, or the potatoes. Sometimes I'll have to cover our sweet potatoes because they tend to like those. We don't have a great setup for curing vegetables yet, but I've got some ideas, and hopefully someday we'll have some shelving in the shade and we can be better set up for curing all these vegetables that we're bringing in from the garden. Such a blessing. I forgot to mention, before I put the cooked vegetables in with the meat sauce, I like to add a decent amount of butter and salt to the vegetables. That way they go into the mix already flavored, and I think it just makes the whole meal a little more flavorful and pleasant. And butter makes everything better, right?
Didn't hurt. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy. Thumbs up already. Wow. What was the thumb for? The cottage cheese?
Yeah.
You like that? What do you think so far, Biddle? Is it good?
Yeah.
Thumbs up? What are you thumbs upping?
Potatoes.
The potatoes. Yeah, they're good, huh? Fresh potatoes are just so good. 2 thumbs up. All right.
Put a cottage cheese and potatoes.
I want you to take a guess of what you're going to thumbs up on this meal.
The potatoes and cottage cheese fries.
Yeah, that seems to be the consensus. Everyone likes the potatoes and cheese. I'm looking forward to the meat and veggies, though.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the veggies, but not.
You're not a huge ground beef fan, are you?
No.
Yeah, me neither. But if that's the meat that I have, then I'll enjoy it. You worked up a thirst with those taters, huh? Look at this work of art. Lunch is over, so we're out here in the main crop area getting ready to put together the first grow bed for our main crop area. So super excited about that.
Could just cut the end.
So Nate, how excited are you about building our first main crop bed? Are you just jumping with joy here?
Well, I don't know. It's cool though, because we're getting started on it. This has been in the works for a long time now.
Years, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited.
Yep.
How about you, Josh? Are you excited?
I'm pretty excited.
Cool. So here's the wood. They're 2 by 12 by 12 foot longs. And so you guys are just going to cut one of them into 3 equal size lengths. And then those will go on either end and in the center of the 2 long sides.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. This is the area we call our main crop area, and we do have a few things growing out here. We have Esther's tomatoes here. These were some extra tomato plants that I had, and she asked if she could create a bed out here, just temporary, to grow those, and they're loaded with tomatoes. Looking forward to those ripening up. We had a mound of potatoes here that now is growing lamb's quarters. There are still a few potatoes left to harvest in there. Sweet potato bed there. And then back down this way we have a raspberry bed. Looks like we've got our first raspberries starting to ripen up here. That's fun to see. And some more sweet potato beds along the edge here. But we still have a lot of space here for grow beds. I'm thinking we're going to be able to fit about 12 to 14 large beds, 4 foot by 12 foot. And then we're also going to do raised beds all along the greenhouse and around the whole perimeter of this space. And there hasn't been a whole lot of time to work on the greenhouse lately, but the boys have been working on the blocking for the roof here. And they've been working on the duck house. The duck house is almost complete. They just have one more wall to put in here, some nesting boxes to build, and then we've got to cut a door for the ramp in the back. And then there's also going to be a ramp coming off of this end right here. And that's so we can build a little nursery area in the corner of this part of the greenhouse for sitting mamas.
Nate, let's go ahead and
Putting an extra piece in the center here just for extra support so it doesn't bow out on the sides. Nice. That is so much grow space. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that pretty easy?
Yeah.
I think you can do about 12, 13 more of those.
Yeah.
Well guys, one down, about 11 more to go of that size. We have enough wood for I think 4 more that size beds. And then in the center of the garden we're going to have a couple long and a little bit skinnier beds. And then hopefully around the whole perimeter will be 1.5 to 2 foot wide beds, short enough to be able to reach all the way across. That bed was so quick and easy to build. I'm really glad that we went with that design. It's going to make it a lot easier to get this garden ready. Hopefully we'll be able to share most of that journey with y'all. So thanks for joining us on the homestead again today. Before we go, we have a few thank yous to give.
Thank you, Larry, for this power nut drive set and this punch set.
Cool, more tools for your shop.
Yep.
Thank you for help for these new shoes.
And thank you so much to Cheryl for your super encouraging letter. Your kind words of encouragement meant so much. It's just what we needed. So thank you so much, Cheryl, for taking the time to write this letter. We really appreciate it. As always, thank you so much to our patrons who make these videos possible. Your steadfast support helps more than you know to keep our family going. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Until next time, we pray blessings over you and yours. And whatever you do, do it with your whole heart. That wasn't recording. You mateys. Let's do it again. Okay, go ahead. Nice.
Thank you for help for giving me this new shoes.